home alone.
Finally! I'm home alone! Which is not scary, and I'm gonna call Mommy.
Baby, put on the news. There's a tornado warning. Is your brother home yet?
Tornado? Yeah, I got him home, but... Whoa, Mommy. Middle school kinda sucks. I have 6 teachers now. Only have 2 minutes to get to my locker between classes. No time to pee and nowhere to pee because they closed all the bathrooms because of drugs and fires? And it's all outdoors.
Look, honey, I can't talk right now. I'm working. Love you, Pumpkinhead.
Love you too. What do we do now? Here, you do some rainbow art. I'll make breakfast or dinner so we can start our homework. I don't think Mommy is coming home on time today.
She never did. The moment I started 6th grade, I was an adult in their eyes. No support, just endless expectations. Endless ways they could use, exploit, and parentify me. They took advantage of the most difficult life transition possible and made it worse. That's all those people ever did. They made everything worse. I really was home alone. Locker room.
Ugh, gym class! This is so crappy to have first period! Now I'm gonna be sweaty and gross all day! She's not wearing a bra!
You can see her boobs through her shirt!
Ew! My... what?
Yeah.
Holy sh...
All of a sudden, I was growing into an actual teenager. Had anyone taught me what that would mean as an AFAB person? No! Of course not. So you can only imagine how confused and humiliated I felt every day in that locker room, knowing that Mom and Dad never provided for me, that I'd never understand my own body and how it would grow and change, that everyone else around me knew the secrets to teenhood that were robbed from me. This is where my body image issues began.
My underwear! Where'd my underwear go? Whose baby panties are those?
They're so tiny and gross!
If I grab them, everyone will know they're mine!
So I left them there on the dirty locker room floor. Some of the only underwear I had left. Lost to my pride. Lost to bullying. Lost to neglect. Had they not been the same undies I had since I was in Wild Child's era, had I not been left with wholly disgusting panties, this story could have been a lot different. And that level of deep humiliation scarred me for life.
Why am I so small? Why am I so ugly? Why am I changing?
Training bra.
The big 1-1! Happy birthday, Blackbird!
Present time!
Oh, great. That's a lot of
So
presents!
Hope it's a Nintendo game!
Ew! Is this a training bra?
Happy birthday, Blackbird! A basic necessity. A private undergarment displayed in front of all of my preteen guy friends, with photos snapped as the adults roared with laughter. This level of humiliation is exactly why I developed AVPD.
So gross, right? Who needs a training bra? Embarrassing.
I refused to wear it. I went months avoiding that bra like the plague, until the bullying reached its peak, and I was forced to swallow my pride and adjust to the itchy, uncomfortable norm for AFAB people.
Why did that have to be Kim Possible, though? The show was so old and lame. It could have at least been Pokemon. Like, 2 Pokeballs.
Blackbird. See, this is what growing up should have been like. Puberty's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sorry they treated you that way. And gave you an outdated bra for your birthday. So lame.
The lamest.
Disorder. You're severely underweight, Blackbird. Is there anything you want to tell us without your mother in the room? No, I know everything about her. My child doesn't keep secrets from me.
Can you make her leave?
What? Will only be a few minutes, ma'am. Blackbird, what are you hiding? Don't make me look like sh-
I'm gonna pay for that later.
Are you safe at home? No, I wasn't. I told them everything. I was given my first mental health evaluation. I filled out sheets that would soon diagnose me with depression, anxiety, and bulimia. Upon reflection, I believe this to be a misdiagnosis. Every morning, I would be so sick to my stomach, I'd throw up. Every night, I'd go to sleep starving. And the few times we did have food, I'd binge eat. I'd eat and eat and eat until I puked, out of sheer anxiety that I would never eat again. Out of sheer guilt for wasting my only resources in an uncontrollable fit of fear. It was be sick or make myself sick. An endless, gruesome cycle. Whatever name it had, it was an eating disorder, and I was treated swiftly against my mother's will.
The scale became my mortal enemy. Mommy was obsessed with my weight and appearance from that point on.
God forbid I humiliate her. YouTube, I know you hate this topic in particular and silence it every chance you get, but eating disorders are real and deserve recognition, treatment, and support. If you or someone you know resonates with this experience, I encourage you to seek help. There are links provided in the description and pinned comment. Only 10% of people with eating disorders ever receive treatment, and I'm one of the lucky few forever changed and grateful for the chance. This video will be a fundraiser for NEDA, so that we may help others get screened, get treated, and heal. Consider joining me in donating, and thanks for listening. Springs.
It's been forever since we've seen B-Boy, and today he's going with us to explore a natural spring with freezing cold water, caves that echo, and treasure buried in the sand.
On the surface, this would have been a happy memory, but in reality, it's tainted. That man had avoided us for years, very suddenly. We'd begged Dad for him to come visit. He was our godfather, but he never came. The day at the Springs was the last time I ever saw B-Boy. I'm grateful, but I'll never forget what was said that day.
Daddy, why doesn't B-Boy come to see us anymore?
You're too old now.
Too old?
Yep, you're all grown up. No fun anymore.
But I thought B-Boy was family. I thought he'd come live with us like how Jim lives with Mommy. I thought he'd stay here forever.
I'm not gay, Blackbird. B-Boy is gay.
Huh?
I don't want him near me, or you, or your brother anymore. He's done, Blackbird. I'm sorry.
Dad knew. He knew what B-Boy was doing to us kids. There's no way he did not know. B-Boy wasn't gay. He was a predator. Big difference. What a disgusting attempt to cover up years of crimes by pouring homophobia into the mix. That was the first time I'd ever seen my father's true colors. And they were ugly. Wish. This is an autobiographical retelling of my personal experience with non-suicidal self-injury or self-harm, told with the purpose to heal, raise awareness, and provide resources to anyone utilizing similar maladaptive coping mechanisms. I am in no way condoning nor glorifying the subject. Reach out to suicide prevention services such as calling or texting 988 or live chatting with counselors through sites like 988lifeline.org or thetrevorproject.org that I urge you to utilize. If you're engaging in NSSI or self-harm, have suicidal thoughts, or are experiencing a crisis. This video will be a fundraiser for the Trevor Project. Please consider joining me in donating to a cause I wish I had access to when I was younger. And thank you for watching.
You know, I'm starting to love being home alone. It's a lot easier now that I have my very own Motorola Razr cell phone. This is a teen's dream. Ugh, I wish Mom would get into an accident and never come home to ruin the fun. Mom?
Blackbird, honey, I'm at the hospital. I was in a car accident. I wish I was joking. My life is full of sad, hilarious coincidences, but this one takes the cake. It's a little funny in retrospect, sure, but in that moment...
I made her get into that accident. I did this! I'm a terrible person! How can I ever wish for something so mean to happen? Why did I do that?
I blame myself. I threw up from guilt. I tore myself to shreds because I wished ill on my abusers. I ripped open my Bible. I prayed to God. I was so desperate to repent for the sins I had committed. But nothing brought me relief. According to the trickster in showbiz, according to my bloodline of addicts, normalization of physical punishment, my entire horrific past, I was a bad person. I deserved punishment. This was the first time I harmed myself with intention.
My outside pain finally matched my inside pain. I could see it and feel it. It hurt, but eventually it healed. That proved that no matter what, I would feel better eventually. I wish I had a better way to deal with stuff. But this makes sense to me right now.
Non-suicidal self-injury or self-harm isn't talked about enough. It's an unhealthy coping mechanism with a lot of stigma surrounding it. But you're not alone if you've experienced any form of it. Support is abundant, and I encourage anyone struggling to seek help. I survived to tell my story with scars. You deserve to survive too, without the scars, if possible. As a society, we need to be more proactive in preventing self-harm and suicide, rather than reacting once it's already happened. Take steps today to be aware, for yourself, your loved ones, and the world around you. Be kind to your future eras. They love you. The pool. Due to my mother being the primary parent, the court agreed to allow my father to have custody over us during summer vacation.
My favorite part? The pool. Daddy was crazy and kept adding all sorts of fun things to it, like giant fountains that would shoot over the roof of the house and neon lights under the deck surrounding it. Then eventually, Daddy took our old playset and rebuilt it to where the slides would go down into the pool.
It was like our own private water park. Dad was insane. Mans could not go 1 minute without a project and turn our house into a playground. He really was a kid at heart when he was sober, of course.
The best memory I have is when Daddy put laundry detergent in the pool filter, making bubbles shoot out of the fountains. There was soap and bubbles everywhere, like it was snowing in Florida.
The sunny days we'd spend playing King of the Raft, the times we put kiddie pools as giant floats in the water, the glow sticks at night we'd dive after for hours, were some of the fondest summer memories I ever made.
But deep down, I knew it was all just a distraction. I'm not stupid. Candy's here. Daddy drinks a lot. It wasn't safe, but at least we had our safe haven, our swimming pool.
Chase. Ever since the custody decision, Dad grew to resent me. He shamed me for choosing Mom over him, never once blamed himself or his addiction. I was the scapegoat bred and built to harbor everyone else's guilt and pain. And soon, Dad's visits became nightmarish.
One night, Daddy was really upset. Things got super bad, so I started backing up into the hallway. I didn't know why I felt like I had to run, but my body remembered something and moved for me. That's when Daddy snapped. He chased me down the hall. I ran as fast as I could to the bedroom and locked the door. My brother was in the corner crying as we listened to Dad have a tantrum outside. He stomped up and down so hard the walls shook. He kicked the door until holes showed through it. He screamed and cried about how evil our mother was, how unfair God was to him, and how we betrayed him in court. How we ruined his life.
I had never felt more terrified of the one person I thought was safe. I held the keys to every door in that house tight, stolen and stashed out of some instinctual fear that this exact scenario would happen.
You're right, Holly. My intuition, it saved us again.
While Dad never technically laid a hand on me, he didn't have to. The damage was already done. He changed. Knife. It was an ordinary sleepover with my best friend. We made a blanket for it out of the kitchen table. It was dark outside and raining. The Pokemon Diamond and Pearl anime played on the TV. Mac and cheese sat in a pot in the stove. Cold. I remember everything. Every sight, every sound, every smell. It was the moment I almost witnessed a murder.
Where's the fucking money, Candy?
I don't have your money, you bastard! What's happening? They're fighting. They always do that. Should we call the cops? No, they never do anything.
You want out of here?
No!
Candy, put down the knife.
No!
Candy.
Call 911.
911.
911, what's your emergency? Hello?
You son of a bitch!
Stop it, Blackbird! I've got it under control. Don't call the fucking police. They'll take you away from me for good. You understand? I said stop it, Blackbird!
What about this situation was under control?
It's an accidental dial. My daughter just got her first phone. Nothing to worry about here.
Stacker.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Hotel.
Whoa! Everything is music themed! Classic rock elevator music, underwater speakers, air guitar contests! This is gonna be the best vacation ever!
And she's right! It was! We stayed at a theme park resort for a week with Jim and Mom. It was our way of coping from the disaster that was staying with Dad all summer.
One night, Jim showed us a secret about the resort. Tucked away in the back was a tiny arcade! My favorite thing ever! He then gave us a lot of arcade money and said,
Go crazy!
and we did!
We played classic games like Pac-Man, poured tickets from the skee-ball machines, and of course, robbed the claw machines of all their best plushies.
But there was one special machine that I fell in love with that day. The stacker! You stack the blocks up until you reach prize lines. It'd get faster and faster the higher you went, but I was so skilled, I cleared out the entire thing! Except one jackpot prize.
We enlisted the help of Jim himself in order to win, and with our powers combined, we lost.
We may have never won the jackpot, but we won fun memories with Jim that I'll never forget. Oh! Try again, stacker!
Biggest regret.
For the last day of the theme park's this vacation, I thought I'd spice it up a bit and take you somewhere special. Somewhere you've never seen before.
Wait, what? We're not going to Universal? We've been going there all week. I want to ride the E.T. ride.
You're right, we've been there all week, so let's try something new. How does Disney World sound?
Disney World?
Come on, give it a shot. If you don't like it, then we'll go back to Universal, okay?
Fine.
We were so fortunate, so lucky to be some of the few kids privileged enough to go to Disney World, let alone be offered to go to a different theme park if we didn't like it. And I had no right to act like such a spoiled, rotten brat. For the longest time, I hated Blackbird. I hated her for this. I thought I was the worst person on planet Earth for marching into Disney World, riding one ride, and sticking my nose into the air demanding to go somewhere else. But I've since come to love Blackbird, even if she has her ugly moments. I used to boil down this memory to Blackbird just being a horrible person. But really, she was just being a kid. A normal preteen who, shockingly, might be a bit privileged and bratty. I'm tired of hating myself over this. Instead, I've chosen to replace guilt with gratitude. I'm not guilty for leaving Disney World. I'm grateful I had the privilege, thanks to Jim. I recognize that it was sucky. I never did anything like it again. What more do I need to do? What good is wallowing over it forever? I'd rather heal, forgive Blackbird, and move forward. We deserve it. Warrior cats.
I'm Phoenix Wing, my very own warrior OC with fire powers that she got from Star Clan. She replaces Firepaw in the books because he sucks. Since my dream is to become an author, I wrote a letter to Erin Hunter telling her how I changed the story and add my brother and I's characters since they are way better.
Yes, I literally mailed the authors of the series my own Mary Sue self-insert OC. Look, I was 11, okay?
I hide my warriors books using construction paper to keep the covers blank. I couldn't let anyone in school know about it because I'd be lame and weird. But I really like the series. It was the first time I made real OCs. The first time I roleplayed by myself when I was home alone. The first fanfiction I ever wrote. It helped me sleep at night, pretending to be a warrior curled up in their den at night. That fixation changed my life for the better. Forever. But I kept it to myself.
The fact that I felt ashamed for having a normal, age-appropriate interest speaks volumes. I buried all of my autistic joy during Blackbird's era. There's something morbidly conflicting about the fact that despite all the hell I was surviving, I just lived. I had average, normal days. I even had good days. It's a weird disconnect. I guess it hurts sometimes to have any semblance of the life I should have had all along. Woody.
I stayed true to my vow to never make friends again. So much so, I decided to stick around my biggest bully from 5th grade.
I thought it was what I deserved at the time. I thought by being friends with Woody, I'd avoid being picked on. But I couldn't have been more wrong.
Woody still bullied me. We rode the same bus where she dumped my backpack on the floor and stomped dirty footprints on my art. We had some classes together where she'd stick chewed-up gummies in my hair. She convinced me to skip class and hide in the bathroom, throwing spitballs at the ceiling. I did a lot of bad things because of her.
But the worst part?
I became a bully too. And before you come after me, I had a reason. If I didn't join Woody, she would have hurt me even more. It was either me or the other kids, and I was tired of being the victim.
I have a really difficult time believing it was me at all. I'm not a mean person. I never want to cause harm, but I did. And when I take accountability and recognize how wrong I was.
I remember the exact day I stopped being a bully. We were on the bus. Woody and I were pointing and laughing at a fat girl. We joked that the whole bus would topple over because she was a whale. Then, one of my neighbors got in my face.
Stop bullying her! I have to listen to you two pick on her every single day, and I'm tired of it! If you want to be mean to someone, be mean to me! I was shocked into silence.
Woody wasn't bothered, but I was. I realized I used to be like my neighbor. I was the hero, protecting others. Why was I being the villain now? I never bullied anyone ever again.
Silly bands. The 2010s were full of wild fads, but I think we can all agree the best one of all was...
Silly bands! They're these silicone bracelets shaped like different things, like animals, cartoon characters, foods, and more. Everyone at school wore them. Some people had them reaching all the way up their arms.
There was an entire economy and trading system for these bracelets. Some were rare, some were customized with beads, and others were plain rubber bands that kids would call potato bands.
It was a status symbol to join in on the silly band craze, and luckily, Jim and I were able to find some after driving all around town. I got a Sea Creatures pack that was so rare, I managed to trade 3 times as many bands for them.
But my last blue seahorse was reserved, my trump card for only the best trades out there.
This football boy from science class kept asking me for it, but all of his offers sucked. Until one day, he brought me every single cat bracelet ever made. Cats of every color, some were even glittery, and you know what? I caved. I traded my last sea creature for them.
Rumors spread about the trade. The cat bracelets weren't even that rare. I just really liked cats. But of course, the preteens around me only saw a transaction between a popular boy and a nerd girl.
Everyone thinks I like him! Ew! Help!
Crush.
Oh, you like Redbird, don't you, Blackbird? No! He's so boring and ugly. I don't like him!
This is the lesbian canon event. I'm so sorry, Blackbird. The whole grade was weirdly obsessed with me and this poor sucker named Redbird. He was this jock football kid with 0 brain cells and the most basic brown-haired, blue-eyed white boy you ever met. He could have been a Minecraft YouTuber, okay?
Everyone was so annoying about Redbird. They made signs on the bus to put up to the windows to announce to the world that I had a crush. And I didn't! Ugh, no! I didn't like him! Did I?
And so thanks to the entire middle school, including staff, I developed the world's fakest, short-lived, quote-unquote crush on Redbird.
I already have Love Story by Taylor Swift on my Zoom. It's not doing anything! I tried to make myself blush, but I can't? How do I do this?
The truth is, I never felt that way about anyone, and I never will. I was always a row ace. I just had a few very embarrassing bumps in the road before I accepted that. LGBTQ+ topics were not accessible to me at the time, so I had no idea why I was failing so bad at being straight. Then, the coolest thing happened.
Huh?
Sorry, everyone's so weird after the silly band thing. I don't like you, and I know you don't like me. You can have it back. And keep the cats. I've seen the Warriors books you have. They're cool.
So, I may have actually, fallen in love with him right then and there.
You didn't!
But it was the nicest thing anyone's done for me. He became a real, true friend. One who actually knew the real me, under the mask.
And what more do you need than that? Zombie teacher. You read that title right. This is not clickbait. My 6th grade science teacher became a zombie. Even crazier, she became my boss in Holly's era. Stay tuned for that, Dale.
Yeah, it's my turn right now. So middle schoolers still had to walk to the lunchroom in single file lines. My teacher, Miss Mingo, would go with us every day, but one time, while opening the door to let us in, her foot got caught in the doormat and she literally fell through the glass door!
It was horrifying! I was scarred for life! To keep gore at a minimum, let's just say there was a lot of blood, okay? It stained the sidewalk. It was so cursed.
We were convinced that woman died. She was rushed away in an ambulance and was never seen again. We got a new teacher. The school year went on until suddenly the classroom door flew open and Miss Mingo was alive!
Which, sidebar, no one was happy about. She was evil, low-key.
Miss Mingo just pranced up to the front of class, pulled down the projector and said,
"Of course I'm back. I just bumped my head a little."
That lady did not just bump her head. She died in front of us and was now a zombie.
She was never the same, bro. She was cuckoo bananas. Nothing like the strict evil teacher she once was.
I mean, yay? Honestly, the trauma was worth it.
Was it? Fire drill. I've been dying to tell this story, bro. It's so funny. Meet Miss Heron, my deadpan art teacher who is miserable in the most comedic, satirical way. She'd monitor the halls in the morning and it'd go something like,
Good morning, Miss Heron. Look at them all. Ants, bugs, nuisances.
they'll contribute nothing to our failing society.
Have a good day, Miss Heron.
You're one of the good ones, Blackbird. Keep it that way. As if we were in a black and white noir film. She loved me for no apparent reason, dude. I was her favorite, probably because I was an artist.
One day, we had a fire drill. Except it wasn't a drill. It was real.
I'd rather die in a fire than wrangle you brats into a line and stand in the Florida heat.
Ma'am, the school is literally on fire?
Hey, wait. Who stole my Reese's cup? It was on my desk. Ma'am, please, we don't have time for this. No one leaves until the chocolate is back in my hand. That bitch locked us in a burning building over a fucking Reese's cup.
Eventually, some kid fessed up after we panicked, screaming how we were all gonna burn and die! And we sat outside while Miss Heron ate her candy, hatred lining every wrinkle of her saggy face.
I love this woman. Oh my god, what an icon. Broken rib.
Dad, it's getting late. We should go home so Blue Jay doesn't miss Santa. Too drunk to drive, sweetie. We're staying here tonight. What? No, we can't! It'll ruin the Christmas magic for my brother! We have to go home!
You want to risk our lives over some fairy tale, Blackbird? Didn't get enough presents from Nanny and Papa? Can't wait for more?
That's not what I'm saying.
Get in the car!
No, Dad.
Get in the car!
Dad swerved. Dad sped. Dad somehow managed to get us home that night. But the whole ride, I was an anxious wreck. If we died that Christmas Eve, I thought it would have been my fault. But really, it was Dad's. It was the alcohol.
When we got home, I put Blue Jay to bed and pretended to fall asleep too. Then, I tiptoed out into the living room to make sure Dad put the presents out. But he didn't! That was the whole point of coming home!
I stormed into his room, tore open the closet, started marching presents out myself, as Dad and Candy laid wasted on the bed, still in their formal attire. At some point, Dad groggily came to life and joined me.
It was dark. Only the twinkling Christmas lights were on. Dad tripped over the glass coffee table in the living room and shattered the glass with a giant boom. I turned around to see him, drunkenly stumbling in a pile of glass, gripping his side.
I was convinced he would bleed out and die. But luckily, all I managed to do was break a rib and ruin Christmas. I was so grateful my brother didn't wake up and see the nightmare unfolding under the tree.
But I saw it. I watched Dad go to the hospital. Blue Jay kept asking what was wrong, and we had to lie. I hate lying. I hate watching Dad do this to himself. I hate not having a normal life! Other kids got Santa magic on Christmas, and I got broken glass and a broken parent.
Bloopers. We're on the first episode and we can't move on. This is called the Siren Song. When there's a siren in the background because you live in the city, it's really shitty. This is a siren song. We can't do anything about it, so we have to wait until they pass by. This is a siren song. God, I just want to record my life story. Stop being so annoying. This is a siren song.
Ugh, shimglass? Shimglass? That's not what that says. Hello, dyslexia.
Diagnose me. They will soon diagnose me. Oh no, not the diagnosis. I'm not gay. I can't even say the words without my voice cracking because it's not true because I'm gay.
That was sound like a crocodile. The best memory I have with Dad,
We got the wild child energy in the recorded booth today.
Yay! One night, oh god, the puberty's hitting. Arcade!
Hey, put the dogs away, hey! Rotten brat. You hear that, Blackbird? You're a brat.
Oh no! Whatever am I gonna do?